If you've been looking at the KitchenAid 7 Quart Bowl-Lift Stand Mixer, you're probably already thinking about baking more seriously. And that's exactly who this mixer is designed for. This isn't the kind of machine you buy for occasional cakes. It's built for people who work with heavier dough, larger batches, and recipes that actually push a mixer. One of the first things you notice is the capacity. The 7 quart bowl gives you a lot of room to work with. You can mix large batches of cookie dough, multiple loaves of bread, or bigger holiday recipes without having to split everything into smaller rounds. In a real kitchen, that saves time. And it makes the whole process feel more efficient. Where this mixer really stands out, though, is in performance. The bowl lift design gives it more stability, and you can feel that when you're working with dense dough. It doesn't struggle the way smaller mixers sometimes do. It stays steady, and it keeps mixing consistently. That's especially important if you bake bread or work with thicker batters on a regular basis. Another detail I actually appreciate is the speed control. You get 11 speeds, which gives you more flexibility depending on what you're making. But the most interesting one is the half-speed setting. That's useful when you need to fold ingredients gently, like berries into batter or whipped egg whites, without overmixing. It's a small feature, but in practice, it gives you more control. The included attachments also make a difference. You get the basics: dough hook, flat beater, wire whip. But the double flex edge beater is the one I tend to notice. It helps scrape the bowl while mixing, which means you don't have to stop as often to do it yourself. That makes the process smoother, especially when you're working with larger batches. Now, there are a few things to be realistic about. This is a large, heavy mixer. It takes up space, and it's not something most people will want to move in and out of a cabinet all the time. It's also expensive, and that matters. If you're only baking occasionally or mostly working with small recipes, a smaller mixer will usually make more sense. But if you bake often, if you work with bread dough, or if you regularly prepare food in larger quantities, then this is where a mixer like this starts to feel worth it. For me, the KitchenAid 7 Quart Bowl-Lift sits in that space between a typical home mixer and something more heavy-duty. It gives you the capacity, the stability, and the control that make a difference when you're working on more demanding recipes. It's not for everyone, but for the right kind of home baker, it's a very capable tool.